On a romantic private flight, a guy who just got his pilot's license fakes an emergency to get his girlfriend to read his proposal in the emergency instruction book. As she realizes what's happening, he brings the plane steady and proposes. Before she can respond, she suffers what he thinks is a heart attack and passes out. When he calls 911, Abby tells him to make an emergency landing, as the nearest airport is 15 minutes away. He lands at a golf course, and the first responders arrive. They start to treat the woman for a heart attack, and then Abby calls Buck. She tells him that she spoke to the woman's doctor and that her thyroid medicine caused her to be scared to death, which is not a heart attack, but the signs are similar. The first responders change their treatment and the woman wakes up. She accepts her boyfriend's proposal and then smacks him. In a miraculous recovery, Chimney is back at work. The firehouse holds a party for him, and Buck invites Abby. When she arrives, Bobby and Chimney seem jealous, while Athena and Hen make a point to introduce themselves and embarrass Buck by asking him about his Valentine's Day plans. Reluctantly, he asks Abby out for the day, and she eagerly accepts the invitation. Bobby gives Buck some advice as he gets ready for his date, while Carla gives Abby advice. They are both nervous and excited at the same time and want to make a good first impression. Buck manages to make reservations at a nice French restaurant since he knows the owner. They are both very nervous, and Buck actually chokes on a piece of bread to the point where he loses consciousness and Abby needs to perform CPR. As she continues CPR, Buck isn't waking up and she can't clear his airway, so she calls 911 again and asks for her dispatcher friend to walk her through an emergency tracheotomy. Though she's nervous about the procedure, she manages to get him to wake up just as first responders arrive. At the hospital, Buck is still asleep when Bobby comes to see him. He joins Abby in watching over Buck and then takes her to get a cup of coffee. Not exactly the Valentine's Day they all had planned, but perhaps a little rivalry will be brewing if Bobby tries to get close to Abby. Meanwhile, Athena has a crazy night of Valentine's Day calls. First she is called to the scene of a noise disturbance. A neighbor called in the complaint after he hears screaming from an apartment. Turns out, a couple was fighting and the guy breaks up with his girlfriend, who had a very different Valentine's Day planned. She locks him in a closet when Athena arrives. Athena takes a walk around the girl's apartment, but doesn't find anything suspicious, and she just thinks the girl has a broken heart. Athena offers the girl her card and says to call if she gets lonely or scared again. After Athena leaves, the girl pours herself a glass of wine, takes out a butcher knife and hacks up her ex-boyfriend Ted. On her second call, Athena is called to a 12-car pileup on the highway. There are no fatalities, but in the middle of the crash is a medical transport. The driver says he has an organ that needs to get delivered to a patient at the hospital, as she is prepped and ready for surgery. Athena tells the guy to hop in her SUV, and she proceeds to drive like a maniac to get him to the hospital. Along the way, he tells her the organ is for a 16-year-old girl. She assumes it's a heart, but when they get there, the doctor tells her it is a kidney. Either way, Athena saved a life and she's happy with herself. After that, Athena is called back to the crazy girl's house. When she arrives, the girl gives Athena a box of chocolates and offers her a glass of wine. She spills the wine, so Athena goes to clean up in the bathroom, where she finds a bunch of different pills in the girl's medicine cabinet and blood on the shower floor. She pulls her gun out and tries to find the girl. Instead, Athena stumbles upon the body of Ted, which the girl has superglued back together. The girl pulls a gun on Athena and ties her up. She tells Athena that she is going to fix Ted to make him perfect. And she's going to do that by taking Athena's good heart and putting it into Ted's body. While tied up, Athena hears someone screaming from a closet, and the girl tells her that the screaming is coming from another one of Ted's Valentine's Day dates. Athena keeps the crazy girl talking, and just asks the girl is about to hack up Athena. There's a knock at the door, which distracts the girl long enough for Athena to break free and knock her out. The girl at the door is Ted's third date of the evening, and Athena briefly fills her in on the situation as she handcuffs the crazy girl and lets the locked-up girl out. When Athena gets home after her long, weird day, she finds a glass of wine and cookies from her family. Just what she needed to relax. Back at the firehouse, it's just Bobby and Chimney working from the crew. They get a call about a man who thinks he broke his back. He is whispering on the call, and when the guys arrive at the house, the couple that answers the door informs them that neither of them called 911. When the woman tells the guys that the man with her came home early to surprise her on Valentine's Day, they realize that the victim must be the woman's secret lover, so they walk around the perimeter of the house to find him. When they find the man, he has broken legs, as he jumped from the second floor. The man in the home comes out to see the commotion, and he knows the victim. The woman comes out too, and informs Bobby and Chimney that the victim is actually her husband who she is separated from, and the other man is her lover. She takes the ride to the hospital with her estranged husband. To me, it seems 911 is finding its groove. After learning about Bobby's past, Heartbreakers takes a little lighter approach as it pokes fun at Valentine's Day. And I feel like it's setting up a possible conflict between Bobby and Buck as they fight over Abby. I'm just taking a guess here, but it seems that Bobby could possibly think that Buck doesn't deserve a woman like Abby. I guess we'll find out soon enough. Which 911 call did you like the best? Are you surprised that Abby and Buck's date went awry when he became the victim? Do you think that Bobby might be falling for Abby too? How do you think that Buck will react if this is true? Let us know in the comments below.